Hello, YouTube. Back with another squat day. There were a lot of variables that honestly were outside of my control that influenced the outputs of the squat day. The previous weekend, I had went skiing, and then I traveled for work. And anybody that knows about traveling for work, you're sitting down for a long duration of time. The night before this squat session, I had sat down for 3.5 hours. I got to bed at 10, woke up at 4. That's still 6 hours. So I did get a relatively good rest, but it was a struggle that I had to push through. And when you come to the working set, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, with all that being said, I did increase the number of reps that I got. So I went from 260 to 9. And in this session, I actually got 10 at 260. I'm going to go for 11 next session. But you can see the speed within the working set. It was just slower and a little bit more of a grind. And with all that being said, there are going to be sessions that are more of a grind. And you're just going to have to push through it. Because consistency over time is the true measure of progress. Progress isn't necessarily measured set to set, workout to workout. It's really that accumulation over long durations of time that measures success. So you're not going to feel 100% going into each session, but it is important you get in the gym and you work. For all the beginner squatters out there, you can see that the step out is consistent. Brace my core, lift the weight off the bar, right foot back, left foot position, right foot position, squat. And it's important to have that consistency with your step out so that at the higher weights, it's more of a natural movement and you're not thinking about it. Early on in my squat career, I was embracing my core on the walkout and my lower back would hum. It was bad. And I used to, in between sets, just cross ball my SI joint. I've progressed a lot since then. But some of those earlier, mobility limitations, poor form, overcompensation, I still see in my body construct today, unfortunately. So, as a younger lifter, really important to get that form down first. I've been squatting for, a decade. Right, and the mistakes that I've made in the first couple of years, I'm still living with those side effects, and honestly, I probably will be living with those side effects for the rest of my life. So that's the consistency over time message. It's not about, let me put on 315, first couple of years, hang a trophy on my wall, whatever. Not important. It's how can you build a stable base that you can grow on for years and years to come. Anywho, this is my working set, 260, and in my head, I'm battling in my head right now. I know it's not feeling well, and I'm like, let's get under the bar, let's give a couple to go, and let's feel it out, but I'm not quitting. It's an interesting angle. You can see a lot of rebound in the bottom of my squat. And that's just how I learned. Like, I learned the hamstrings to treat as a rubber band. The bottom of that squat, it's stretched, and you use that recoil to get out of the bottom. Still at one breath. Form looks pretty good. There's a little bit of hip raise in the back. That just is what it is. That's just how my squat looks. I think I'm at 2 breaths here. Yeah, multiple breaths. Form still looks pretty consistent. It is getting slower. You can see that. That rep looked good. You can see the face. So I needed to add weight to the bar on these, and the 65-pound dumbbells doing for 15 just it's too much work, too light. So I'm going to stiff-legged deadlifts, RDLs, just so I can put more weight on the bar and I can do less reps. So I'm starting at 225, gauging where I am. I didn't put straps on, so that might have been a limiting factor with the grip. I don't think there was. 225 is pretty stable in my hands, but something I'll be watching as well as I increase the weight. Yeah, and I started off with 225 by 7. I'll look to push that next session, maybe a couple reps. I feel like this is my acclimation, it being new. I've been enjoying these. So I'm doing RDLs in my squat day, and I started introducing lunges with the 65 pounds on my deadlift day. But I significantly increased the weight, significant 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever, in this session. And I hit the same amount of reps, and that just tells me I'm not pushing myself hard enough. So I'm going to try to get up to 135 shortly. Whether that's 6, 7, 8, I don't know. But I want to start building my base from a plate. Versus what I'm doing now. What is that? 95, 105, 115, 120, 125. I think I increased 10 pounds. Same. And I don't lock out my leg, you could see. Because I get to a point where I feel the contraction. And I don't need to push it anymore. You can see that on a lot of my... And that's just a maturity thing within lifting. It's a feeling, knowing your own body. Then moving on to hamstring curls. Really been enjoying these. Haven't necessarily seen the correction in my anterior pelvic tilt that I'm looking for, but I felt like I was much more focused on the contraction of my hamstring in this session versus how high I curled it. So I curled it a little less to keep the tension on my hamstring, and really just felt very good. And I've been saying this for a couple sessions. I need those ankle weights so I can increase my weight here, which I'm going to do right after this recording. But I'm really enjoying these, and I'm going to continue to do them. See the hamstrings? I mean, it looks like a bicep. calves are going too. And I'm looking to really tighten the abs here as well to remove the pelvic tilt so I can have more tension on the hamstrings. All right, well, that will do it for this session. See you next time. Cheers.